Peace. What is up, everybody? I am OnenO, and thank you for tuning in to check out the blog today. So I was listening to different blog videos this morning on YouTube, and I came across a subject that inspired in my own mind to identify the difference between my inner voice of intuition and my inner voice of reason. They do serve two different purposes, and in fact, the voice of reason is incapable of speaking with the same knowledge that the voice of intuition speaks with from the inside out. First of all, I can feel that I'm about to dive deep into this, so I'm going to take a little sip of this coffee and set this down. So good. Okay, let's dive into it. Are you ready? So, intuition. First of all, I just came across the etymology of this word and I love it. I'm a big fan of studying where words come from and why we use certain words to describe certain things. And so the word intuition comes from the root word tuition, and tuition is there's two definitions if you look up the definition. The first definition is the money exchanged for education. That is what is known as intuition in modern time. The second definition, which is the classical Latin word of tuition, that actually means that a teacher and a student are in relationship and there is information being exchanged. That's what the actual Latin word of tuition means. It means information exchange from a teacher to a student. That's what the word tuition actually means. So now intuition is the knowledge that the teacher within you is constantly bringing to your awareness. Your soul is so much larger than your physical body could ever imagine. But you, the soul, which is operating the physical body, living in the material world, your soul is already beyond the physical. You do not have to become beyond the physical, you just simply are. And it's the human mind, aka the voice of reason, which cannot comprehend what I am presently talking about. So your voice of reason is now the voice that helps you navigate the material world. So when you need to learn how to do material things and traverse what you have seen in the physical, the voice of reason kicks in. My current voice of reason would tell me that if I'm hungry and I really crave Thai food, the voice of reason lets me know all of the ways that I can accomplish going from my apartment to the Thai food restaurant, getting the Thai food, eating the Thai food, and so on. But now here, and that's useful as you can see in that example. But here's the difference with intuition. Let's say that your soul has a desire to do something that is beyond anything you've ever perceived in your physical experience. Meaning that, let's say you are a drawer and you love to draw. That's your passion. And what you would like to experience in your physical is something that maybe you have not experienced yet. And that could be sharing your art with the world, becoming a content creator, and being able to, excuse me, I'm gonna put that on silent. R2, I'm in the middle of a blog. Okay. So if you're a drawer and your passion is to do that with your whole life, then your voice of reason might kick in and say, well, I've never seen that in the past. I've never seen me be able to draw on a paper and exchange that with somebody who would happily pay me a lot of money to be able to do that. So your voice of reason then says, that's not possible because you haven't seen it in the past. You haven't seen it in the material. But yet, your spirit has a perception of it in the imaginal zone. And I'm using my head, but actually your heart, your imaginal heart space that the mind perceives. You are able to see that there is another parallel reality where you can actually be an artist that draws on a piece of paper, hands that piece of paper over to somebody, and they happily pay you to do that. And you live a happy and successful life. Most people play into the voice of reason at this point, which ultimately becomes how you fall into the voice of fear. Because the voice of reason is what almost connects you to the voice of fear, where your reason will tell you that you have never seen this before, you haven't experienced it yet, therefore it must not be possible. And so your ego kicks in, and your whole left brain starts to tell you that no, abandon ship, this is a bad idea, don't go down this path, don't do this which you thoroughly enjoy from the soul level. Instead, do something else that's safe, that the left brain can understand from the get-go. Whereas the voice of intuition, let's now analyze the voice of intuition. If it's my desire to be a drawer and to share that with the world and be able to be financially supported, first of all, is this possible? Yes, the voice of intuition knows that. Your soul understands that. Is it what you're presently experiencing? No. But if you can experience it in your intuition, in your imaginal zone, in your imaginal thought space, then you will be mentally attracted to certain thoughts that will come to you in order to manifest part of that dream and that vision right here and right now. And that is actually how you start creating something in the physical that the voice of reason has never seen before, has never perceived before. So by following the voice of the intuition, I'm going to make an analogy. I don't know if this is totally perfect, but this is my analogy. The voice of intuition speaks about the future, and the voice of reason speaks about the past. Now, truly, if you follow the rabbit hole of the voice of intuition, it's not that black and white, because the voice of intuition is holistic, meaning it has taken duality, aka the past and the future, and brought them together as one. That is what the voice of intuition is doing. But for the purposes of this analogy, let's say that the voice of reason is like the past and the voice of intuition is like the future. Now, if you pay attention to the voice of the future, the voice of the past is going to say, what are you talking about? I have never seen anything like that. I have never seen a lifestyle like that. I've never seen art like that, or I've never seen life support me like that. Because that's what the voice of the past is constantly saying. What you have seen or have not seen. But you see, the voice of the future presents an entirely new picture for you to perceive, for you to try to comprehend. And it is completely removed from the voice of the past, meaning it speaks only about that which you have not experienced and about that which you would like to experience, aka the desires that you have. And now here's how I want to wrap this whole thing up to help you move forward and use all this information as a tool, because I see this information as a tool. You need to find a way mentally to reconcile these two sides. And the way that I would do this is to see that my left brain is like the voice of reason and the past. My right brain is like the voice of intuition and the future. And I, the soul, am standing, communicating with both of these halves of my internal self, and I, the soul, am the only presence within which reconciles both. And then I, the soul, get to look at the past and the future at the same time, but ultimately live right in the now. Because I, the soul, understand that now is the only moment that exists. And that is the crux of this whole thing. Because if now is the only moment that exists, and we exist in eternity, and eternity is forever changeable, then at any moment of your now experience, you can change anything. Any single part of your now experience can be changed. But it can only be changed by acting in the now experience. So you use now, like a tool, the voice of the past, aka your reasoning self. And you use, like a tool, the voice of the future, aka your intuition. And you, the soul, take both of these into your awareness and you reconcile them here in the now. So how you can apply this then becomes your creative solution for whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life. My dream presently is to be a content creator. I love making blog videos for you. And B, to make music and to continue my musical dream and my passion, which I've been doing professionally now for about 12 and some years. And I'm so blessed and so happy to do what I do. And that's why I like to inspire you, because anything is possible. I've seen firsthand that anything is possible if you apply yourself and you have faith. You have faith that God is watching and God is providing for you, and that you are interacting with God, because God is within every human being that you speak to. Every single human being that you speak to has God within them. And if you come at the world from these type of perspectives, then the world comes at you with these type of perspectives. And then you create a harmony where your dreams can unfold effortlessly. And this is part of that experience that I see internally. The voice of reason is constantly telling me about that which has worked or has not worked in the past. But yet, the voice of intuition is telling me that there are things that I have yet to experience that are totally possible, that if I could even see them for a glimpse in the physical, the imagination would be just a sliver of what is actually being shown to me on my intuitive level. The education from my soul is coming within and showing me potential reality. Man, I am getting super excited during this blog video, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in it and cap it off for today. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this subject. Do you understand what I'm talking about, or is this all just gibberish? I don't want to be speaking over your head, but I want to be inspiring you to think about your internal experience from new perspectives. So please let me know. If I'm talking too high, then let me know so I can apply it more correctly, because my whole goal for this blog is to be able to inspire you so that you can go out in the world and inspire other people by being a beautiful, peaceful, and powerful co-creator on this planet, because that is absolutely what we need on this planet right now. We need more people like you. We need more people to be rooted in their peace and in their power. All right, this is my message for today. Thank you so much for listening. Very soon I'm going to be launching a Patreon channel. No, same channel, but I'm going to be launching a Patreon for my channel, but that's going to be happening in a couple weeks from now. So for now, just go check out the website, pop a donation in the donations bin if you get a second. It really helps me out. But until I see you again along the journey, oneness in sound. I am OnenO. Mwah! Peace.